The fermentation of red wine ranges from 2 to 14 days. But the biggest difference is the extraction of color, flavor, and tannins from the skins. Called maceration, the longer the skins are left to soak in their must, the more intense the wine will become. As red grapes ferment, their skins rise to the top, forming a cap or crust. Traditionally, the cap is frequently punched down, extracting more from the skins. Alternately, in a process called pumping over, wine will be drawn from the bottom of the tank and pumped over the skins to achieve the same results. When the winemaker is satisfied with the color and concentration of the wine, the liquid, now called free-run wine, is separated from the skins in the tank.
Now it's ready to remove the juice and press the skin. So to remove the juice, of course, at this point, the skin are all up on top. And on the bottom are the juice ready to remove it and move it in another tank.
Okay.
So in fact, you can see here, come on.
Oh yeah.
The juice.
Yep. The skins and grape pulp are removed by hand and transferred to the press where the skins are squeezed under high pressure to extract the remaining liquid. This concentrated wine, called press wine, may be blended back to achieve the desired balance. With the alcoholic fermentation complete, the juice has been converted to wine. But the winemaker's work is far from over. The acid content of any wine must be in balance. At this point, many wines go through another phase called malolactic fermentation. This is especially important for red wines from cooler climates, and even white wines like Chardonnay.
Malolactic fermentation it's a conversion with bacteria as the catalyst for it that converts malic acid to lactic acid. Lactic is a weaker acid and provides then a softer effect in the mouth. Some wines you want that to happen. Most reds you want to be softer in the mouth, a little richer. Some whites, some Chardonnays. But on the other hand, some whites like Riesling, you want to avoid the malolactic fermentation because it creates more complexity. And one of the great things about Riesling is the purity of the fruit.
This cellar is from the 16th century. And
now the aging process begins, where the wine's final flavors will begin to transform and develop. Aging periods can vary from 6 months to several years and may include treatment in new wooden barrels used to impart flavors, usually from French or American oak.
Yeah, everything down here is 100% French oak. Actually,
the choice to use new oak barrels to add extra dimensions of flavor to the wine is a personal one on the part of the winemaker. And if they decide to do so, the country of origin and even the forest the wood comes from will make a significant difference in the wine. The barrels are toasted inside to caramelize the wood, adding a toasted or even smoky flavor to the wine. American oak tends to add stronger flavors than French, and the differences are dramatic, even with the same wine. Now these are both Chardonnay.
Yeah, they're both Chardonnay. They're from the same vineyard, picked the same day. They're both right here from Mendocino.
Go away. This can't be the same wine from the same year. These are totally different.
Yeah, it's quite a difference.
Winemaking is like, it's an art, if you will, and it's an expression. They have an understanding of how oak is going to impact a different varietal. So they use that as kind of part of their palette to select from.
I like the quote from Louis Martini. Louis Martini said, "I want to taste the place where the grapes were grown rather than the container in which they were aged. And if I want oak, I'll chew on a 2x4.
The aging process is entirely dependent on the style of wine being made. But even in the most inert of processes, the winemaker is still at work, refining his product through clarification. As wine ages in the barrel, sediments are produced and the wine becomes cloudy. The sediment consists mainly of dead yeast cells, called lees, along with tannin and grape fragments. The winemaker removes these deposits through a process called clarification. Here, a fining agent like egg whites is deposited into the wine barrel to capture the suspended particles. The heavier solids then fall to the bottom of the barrel, and the clear wine is carefully removed and transferred to a clean vessel in a process called racking. The most efficient method of removing unwanted particles is filtration, and the wine may undergo several stages of refinement. Each time, the wine is pumped through porous materials, trapping solids in the filter membranes. These sediments are discarded, leaving the wine clear and free of deposits. Every wine has its own character, a unique personality based on varietal type, the vineyard location, and the vintage year. But these subtle variations can challenge a winemaker who's expected to deliver consistent wine styles from one year to the next. In a process called blending, the winemaker will combine wines from different vineyards or grape varieties to achieve a consistent complementary blend.
You can have very ripe vintages, very dry vintages, and so by using blendings, you are just adding to the wine what is the most or the better expression of the variety for a vintage.
When the winemaker is satisfied with the final wine, it is bottled, sealed, labeled, and packaged for shipment, often across the globe. When it arrives at the consumer's table, the vast majority of wine is fully developed and ready to be enjoyed. However, the finest wines are often returned to the cellar after bottling and locked away for further aging.
How far back do the wines go in here?
This maturation process allows the wine's flavors to transform and develop further, and with some reds, the harsh tannins to soften.
83 vintages or 71.
71, that was a great year.
Some of the best dry Gewurz we ever made here.
86, that's the year I was married.
The greatest wines may be cellared for decades before they reach their peak. It takes an expert to actually predict the lifespan of fine wines, because the aging process will vary widely with each label and vintage year. However, when the moment arrives and the bottle is opened, every wine will be a unique expression of the terroir and the craft of the winemaker.
Wine. From simple beginnings, it evokes such a wide range of emotions. For the collector, the enthusiast, and the novice, there's an appreciation for the winemaker's craft that takes simple fruit and transforms it into a complex and fragrant beverage. Every bottle has a story to tell, and it's the memory of that journey from vine to wine that we celebrate in every glass that we raise.
No bid. Sit back here, no city back. $1,000 more. $1,000 more. Sit back here, no city back. 17,000 now. 18,000 now. Give me 19,000 now.
Shocking and here para mí.
Creme de la creme. Santé.
Good health.
Thank you.
Salud.
Chin chin.
Chin chin.